Yo, what's happening, yo? It's your man Valentine, baby. Coming from on the grind, the home edition. Man, the last time I was up here, man, I said I would stop running. And I'm gonna finish off that where, you know what? It was most definitely time to stop running. And for me, this systemic, deep-rooted racism that we have in this country is unbelievable, because people say things that they don't know that they being racist. You know what I mean? So these people need to learn. It's time to take action. It's not time to step back and think about what we doing or what can I do? It is what can you do, and it's how can you do it. You need to go to your MP, your alderman, your whoever, premier, mayor, MP, any politician you need to go to. You need to make sure that just because my man George Floyd is being put to rest, it doesn't mean that this stuff ends. You know what I mean? You got to continue your protests. You got to make sure you get out there and walk the beat. You know what I mean? And make sure you out there and do something to make a difference. Now, for me, like I said, man, this thing, it resonates deep in my soul, because there's so many times that I've been in the line of fire. You know what I mean? And I'm going to go back to the time when I was young, where, like I said, I was always coming home from baseball practice. Either I was walking or I was running home, but running home because of certain things, because there was people who was always after me. And, there came the day where I said, look here, I wasn't going to run anymore. And for me, it came time where I was walking home that day, and we all knew who was gonna come out. These four dudes, and I don't even know who these cats were in the first place. You know what I mean? And yet they was always on me. So this one time, I was walking home, and I said, you know what? I ain't running. And they came, and they was pushing me and calling me all sorts of names, and the names they were calling you darkies, calling you coon, calling you, I'm an N-word, go home, you can't be here, you don't need to be here kind of thing, you need to go back to where you came from kind of thing. And I was like, you know what? All I'm asking you is just leave me alone. That's it. And they were like, black boy, please. You need to go home. And I'm like, I'm trying to go home. And I said, you know what? Today was the day. I wasn't running anymore. And so I had my bat, my glove, my shoes, man. And that day came where I said, I'm putting my stuff down. And I said, you know what? I'm not running anymore. And today's the last day that you're going to bother me. So, hey, man, I challenged the big dude. There was the dude who was bigger than me, because I was a skinny dude. I ain't that beefcake like I am now. You know what I mean? I was a scrawny dude. And so I said, you know what? I'm done, man. I'm done running. So the dude said, let's go. And I said, yeah, okay. And the only thing I was thinking in my head was, doggone it. If this big dude gets me on the ground, I'm dead today. And the first thing he does is he gets me in a headlock. And my whole thing was not to go to the ground. Because if I get to the ground, me being as slim and skinny as I was, that was it for me. So I finally was able to get his hands loose and stood up. You know what I mean? And all I was envisioning was Muhammad Ali in my head, because Ali was my dude. And all I'm thinking about how he was fighting. And so I went ahead and did this, man. I put my hands up just like this. And the dude's coming at me, so I started throwing. You know what I mean? The first thing, because like I said, my mother always said to punch him in the nose. So I went ahead and threw some punches and punched him right in the nose. And then I was hitting him in the eye, and I hit him hard enough for the dude fell, and he was bleeding. And I thought he was through, so I was like, and in the midst of all that, all I'm telling him is, look, all I want y'all to do is just leave me alone. I don't want you to bother me anymore. Just leave me alone. Just stop. And you know, the dude got up again, and okay, so I did it again. And this time I threw more punches and hit him hard enough this time with rights and lefts that he fell down, and I got my stuff, picked up my bat, my gloves, my shoes, and I started walking home. And as I'm walking, as I'm leaving, I said, look, I don't want y'all to bother me anymore. I just want y'all to stop. And that was the only thing I asked, was them to stop bugging me. And that day was the last time that I ever ran home, y'all, because I had to fight racism that day. Because, whoa, yeah. And today we still fight, you know what I mean? Even though there was other days that came and I did the same thing, and I had to beat that dude down again, and every other time after that. And finally, I was able to walk home with nobody coming out, nobody bothering me, and I was able to walk home peacefully, you know what I mean? So that's my story, man, of how you fight racism. And I know you brothers out there, you do not have to fight it the same way. In today's world, we can fight racism by standing up. You know what I mean? We need to get to where we can have, we can go to the mayor, the premier, the MPs, all the politicians to talk about police reform, community reforms. We need to stop all the injustice that's been happening to all the black people. And there's not just black people. This is for everybody. I mean, it is not, I understand what's going on with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery and all that. And you know what? And happy birthday, Breonna Taylor. It was her birthday today. Imagine that. You know what I mean? So we have to do something to make sure that this does not end. Because if there are people who are civil rights activists who are saying that, yep, we see change. We see black, white, brown, Asian, whoever marching. You know what I mean? The NFL came out. Roger Goodell did a good thing today, because I was upset when they came out with that little comment before, last week I think it was. But today he came out and said, look, we were sorry. You know what I mean? That's big. Because they definitely putting Kaepernick on point. You know what I mean? Because Kaepernick was putting everybody on blast. And everybody was uncomfortable. You see what I mean? But the NFL came out today. And Roger Goodell, the top of the NFL, came out and said, you know what? We were sorry for not listening. That's the biggest thing right there. He said, sorry for not listening, y'all. So we need to take this to people and make them listen. And they need to be responsive and be empathetic about the plight of the black people. Because the injustice, the systemic racism, the institutionalized racism that's been going on, has been going on too long. And man, I tell you, I'm not gonna stop. And I'm gonna continue doing this, because I'm gonna start talking to the premier, the mayor, my MLA or whichever. I'm gonna go to them and talk to them as well. So you can see me doing that, because that's what I'm gonna do. Because it's not just for me. It's for all my nephew, my daughter, all my cousins that are black and coming up. I don't want them to have that bullseye on their back, yo. I want them to be able to walk around and be free. You know what I mean? I want them to be able to go outside and not worry about coming home at nighttime. So as Al Sharpton said, we need to, I'm gonna use the metaphor, we need to get them to take their knees off our neck. You know what I mean? And that's what has to happen. We have to have the police reform. You know what I mean? You've got to look at it. You've got to look at these measures that they do. I mean, you cannot use that much force to take somebody down. To slam a woman down, that's amazing. That's what I saw today. To push an old man down and not care about the old man bleeding. There has to be some change, y'all. There has to be. It's time for change. It's time for y'all to stand up. For all you white folks who don't understand, and if you just don't understand what's going on, you need to find somebody. Find some black person that you know that can tell you what's going on. You know what I mean? If it makes you uncomfortable, it is something that you need to talk about. Listen, I've been through this all my life, and I'm still going through it. Racism does not stop. You can't be in your house. You can't be in your car. You can't walk on the street. We need to be able to do all that and be safe. Man. Everybody's got, y'all got to step up, man. Y'all got to step up. You got to do what you got to do. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody's got to get out there and do something to make a change. Everyone needs to stand up. Get them to take the knees off your neck, the bullseye off your back. And it was time to stop running. You feel what I'm saying? So we got to fight for racism. We got to fight racism. We got to fight the injustice. You feel me? And remember, we still going through a pandemic, y'all. So y'all got to be safe. Wear your mask. Social distance, physical distance. Be safe. First responders, man. Frontline workers. Y'all be safe too. Got nothing but love for y'all. Hey, it's your man Valentine, baby. If you think it's your time to shine, you need to get on the grind with your man Valentine. Breonna Taylor, happy birthday. Rest in peace.